Purple Rain podcast, and we are officially recording in drought season. Oh god. Literally, this week here in England, we have officially been declared as in a official drought. So it's now drought season. It's literally now Pride Rock. It's now literally in the Pride Lands. Okay. It's season 2. Was it 2 or 3? 2. It's season 2 of the Lion Guard, ladies and gentlemen. So the fan is still orange, in case you can hear it. And all that. Okay, because it's recording the heat wave. We still got August to get through. Anyway, right, so the last week of July has been very busy with a lot of general managers in the PWHL. And of course, we've already done the situation with Vancouver. We recorded that yesterday and got it published yesterday. We recorded this episode on the 31st of July. That news actually dropped half an hour before we were going to come up here and get get that day's, which was yesterday's session, if you get what I mean, record it, you get what I mean, Literally, what we were going to do yesterday had to be thrown out, and replaced with the Vancouver news. That's what Joy was trying to say. It's how, originally, we had a plan what we were going to do for yesterday's recording session, and it had to be thrown out, because Vancouver did that literally hard out before we were coming up to record yesterday, And in fact, we did try to get what we were originally going to record yesterday done after that, but unfortunately we had, technical difficulties. Our camera broke mid-recording. This episode we were supposed to get done yesterday, but we're doing it today. I'll try to see if we can get it published today. If not, it'll be over the weekend. So it's bad that we've had a heat wave. We're also now having technical difficulties, but it's nothing major. It's also I've got a new camera ordered. I did that as soon as it malfunctioned yesterday. I got a new one ordered, so that'll be arriving at some point over the weekend. It'll be all fine. Anyway, so big news dropped very late Wednesday night. Now, because of time differences between the UK and North America, I got a bit confused. Initially, I thought it was just Daniele being hired as Canada's new GM or that. I did then not see the next fine print, which was, she's leaving Montreal. Plus, we were getting ready for bed, and you were busy unboxing your brand new snooze band. Yes, I can show the boys and girls, actually. On Wednesday, I got my first ever snooze band delivered. Okay. So I can actually show it to you guys. Actually, I have serious problems sleeping. I've not had a good night's sleep in years. So I have got one of these. It's a snooze band. Here it is. Should I put it on? Demonstrate. So what you do is you basically put it on, right? It's very good for people like me who tend to be side sleepers. So what you do is you oh god, well I'm not getting on inside out. No, right. So what you do is you just put it on. Okay, so you put it on like that. Okay, so there you go. So you have it on, and apparently, right, it's supposed to help you sleep better. It's supposed to improve your sleep. So instead of having headphones or earbuds, you can have this instead. It's supposed to work more with people like me who tend to be a side sleeper. I'm not too sure if it will work or not, but hey, I thought, you know what am I gonna lose? Let's just give it a go. It's very easy. All you have to do is just simply light your earbuds. You just simply pair them with your smartphone, and then away you go. And of course, you got to remember you got to charge it regularly. We're gonna basically charge it every night, because I think it only has 10 to 12 hours of battery life. So we're basically gonna do what I do with all my electronics every night, just charge them so it's all good and dandy. So when the news dropped about Daniele, I was basically getting this unboxed, trying to work out what goes where, getting the strap right so it's not too uncomfortable to have on. Yeah, so I was basically getting this sorted when the news broke. We'll leave it on the desk for now, shall we? We'll leave it there. Yeah, so I'll let you know how that gets on. Yeah, so yeah, for what we're gonna lose, that might be a lot more better for travel. Could be, yeah, could be, yeah. We'll see. We may as well give it a go. What have we got to lose? Nothing much really. But yeah. So this is big. So as we already know, Canada have parted ways with both Troy Ryan as head coach and Gia Kingsbury as general manager. I've already talked about that in a previous episode of the show, so you can go check that out when that news dropped. But yeah, so we now know who Canada's next general manager is going to be. And I have to say, this is a huge, huge win for Canada. I know we are still technically 4 years away from the French Alps, but oh boy, watch out for Canada. Oh yeah, watch out for Canada. Anyway, speaking of the Alps, they've just recently revealed their branding, and we absolutely, not just us three, but the entire pack, we absolutely love it. So yeah, so we've got 1 or 2 episodes on Montreal Cortina, and then we can start focusing on the French Alps. So we'll have an episode about that very soon for you guys. Okay, but we absolutely love that. It's absolutely gorgeous. The branding for the Alps is brilliant. Yeah, so yeah. But I just watch Canada. So we're going to read the article and then we'll talk about our thoughts about it, both first on how it affects Montreal and then how it affects Canada. Okay, next, right, so here we go. Let's get underway, shall we? Okay, so I've got it here. So I'm going to start with the statement from J.A. Hefford. Okay. Right. So Daniele Solano named general manager of Canada's national women's program. Hockey Hall of Famer returns to Hockey Canada after coaching women's Olympic team to gold in 2002. Hockey Canada has announced the appointment of Montreal Victoire general manager Daniele Solano to a new role. Here is a statement from PWHL Executive Vice President of Hockey Operations, J.A. Hefford. So this is the statement. Congratulations to Danielle on the well-deserved opportunity. The well-deserved opportunity. Her leadership, vision, and commitment have been pivotal in building the Montreal Victoire and establishing a strong foundation for the team. While she'll certainly be missed in our league, this is a tremendous win for women's hockey. Danielle has always been driven by a desire to grow the game, and we know she'll have an incredible impact with Hockey Canada. The continued collaboration between our organisations will only strengthen the sport, and we're excited to support Danielle as she begins this next chapter while completing her final season with the Victoire. Wow. Yep. So yeah, wow, yeah, we did not see that coming at all. Her going, that's huge. That's gonna be a huge. They're gonna miss her. Montreal is really gonna miss her. They're really gonna miss her, Montreal. So that's the statement from J.A. Hefford, and I'm now gonna go forward up on the article, okay? Now, and then we'll come back on the supports, okay? So Hockey Canada has announced that Hockey Hall of Fame inductee Daniele Solano will serve as general manager of Canada's national women's program through the 2030 Olympic Winter Games, effective immediately. Solano will also maintain her position as general manager of the Montreal Victoire in the Professional Hockey League for the 2026-27 season, with the expectation of joining Hockey Canada full-time as Vice President of Hockey Operations and General Manager of Canada's National Women's Program for the remaining 3 years, ahead of the 2030 Olympics in the French Alps. Although it's being brought as Alps 2030, correct? Yeah, yes, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Okay. And they spelled it the French way, So for any of you English speakers a bit confused, it's been the branding. It's the French spelling. Yeah, just to cover up for you guys. I actually did do French from year 4 all the way up to GCSE year 11, so I knew straight away. Yeah, that's the French spelling. In her role, Soldado will serve as general manager of Canada's national women's team while helping guide the national women's under-18s and national women's development team. The selection process was led by a search committee, including 3 national women's team alumni, committee chair and Hockey Canada board member Gillian Apps, Therese Brissom, and Cassie Campbell-Pascal, as well as President and Chief Executive Officer Catherine Harrison, Vice President of Hockey Operations Misha Donskog, Senior Vice President of High Performance and Hockey Operations Scott Salmond, Own the Podium High Performance Advisor Cara Phillip, and Brad Trolbing. Let me see if I can find a statement from Daniele. Oh yeah, there is, but I've got more else to do first. We'll get to that. Okay, right. So Saviano was the first woman inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame's Builder category as an honoured member in 2025, and I think that got announced, wasn't it, on the day of the draft? Last year's draft Law. Yeah. I believe it was. Yeah. I believe it was. Yeah. It was. Yeah. And do you know how I remember that? Because it's the exact same day I found out about Sharky. Oh, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was. Yeah, today. Yeah. Him getting inducted into a Hall of Fame as well. So yeah, that's how I remember that. She has served as general manager of the Victoire since the team's inception in 2023 and led the team to a World Cup Championship in 2026. She also spent time as the associate head coach and general manager of Team Harbies with the PWHL, associate coach with the Canadiens de Montreal in the Canadian Women's Hockey League, and general manager and initiator of the University of Montreal Women's Hockey Program. Internationally, Soldado was an assistant coach and head coach of Canada's national women's team, capturing gold at the Salt Lake City Games in 2002, and prior to that, the 2001 IHF Women's World Championship titles. She was named to the Order of Canada in 2012 for extraordinary contributions to the game of hockey and has been involved in the game for over 30 years. Right, here's her statement. Joining Hockey Canada as general manager of the National Women's Program is a privilege, said Soldado. Working alongside the country's best women's hockey players and staff as we prepare for the 2030 Olympic Winter Games is an incredible opportunity, and we have our sights set on showing the very best performance of every opportunity along the way. I have incredible memories of representing Team Canada and understand the preparation and collaboration required to achieve success at the international level. But yeah, so big news. Where do we start? Well, I think for Montreal, this is going to be a huge loss, because I don't think they could ever find somebody worthy to replace it. Oh no, I mean, what Daniel's done with this team over the last 3 years has been nothing but incredible. I mean, the way she's gone about, building her roster and building a very competitive roster. I mean, Montreal has never been outside the top 2 guys. They were second to TO in the 2023-24 seasons, that inaugural season. And in the last 2 seasons, 24-25, 25-26, they have been the league champions. And of course, this year won the double. This year they did the double. Yeah. First team to do that in the PWHL. Yeah. No, so this team from day one, like us in Minnesota, has been very competitive from the get-go. And in fact, alongside Minnesota, Montreal is the only other team that's made the playoffs every single year. So what Dallas does is incredible. And, I mean, and also I think it's always incredible, not how she's drafted her team, but also how she's handled expansion. Because if any other team had to protect star players like Poulin, Desbian, and Stacey, I think any other team would then falter because of the star talent they would then lose. But not Danielle Solano. She's managed to find a way to navigate the expansion process both times in both last year and this year. She managed to navigate so well that Montreal, while they do lose quite heavy, the losses aren't as damaging to the team as it could be. I mean, obviously this year was a lot more damaging because obviously they lost Gamora, they lost Ambrose, which you've been saying since last year was going to happen. But they managed to still keep hold of two big acquisitions they got this time last year, Flaherty and Rock. I mean, that Rock trade, it was crazy when it happened, because the three of us were like, really? Really? Montreal, you want her? Really? Okay, sure, Feral. And I'll wear yeah if I want to. That's huge. I mean, the fact. So yeah, I mean, the way she's gone about building a roster and then navigating it through expansion has been. I mean, I did say going into this season, I kind of felt Montreal expect big things from them because their losses in the last expansion process wasn't as heavy compared to the other teams. So I was quite surprised the Big 12 had that slow stop the first half, and then they managed to turn it in around that second half and literally just went full gear and just did not look back. Then they also matched Toronto's point streak from year one. I think they matched it. I'm not too sure if they eclipsed it. We'll need to double check that. Yeah, we need to double check that. Yeah. No, they are gonna miss her. Yeah, they really are gonna miss her. And I honestly don't know who you could get to replace her in Montreal. That's gonna be a huge blow. But luckily, they don't have to worry about that until this time next year, because she is going to be still with the Victoire for this upcoming season. So 2026-2027 is going to be her last team. After that, she will transition full-time to Team Canada. And this is an absolute win for Canada, especially on the back end of this Olympic cycle that they've just been through. And of course, I have done my report cards for all 10 teams in La Cortina, and I did not hold back on Canada. I did not hold back. Well, I don't think any of us were impressed with Canada. I mean, yes, they are our long-time arch nemesis, but even us three just looked at that and thought, no, we know you can do better than that, Canada. We've seen you play better. We've absolutely seen you play better. And obviously, lady, I think you saw the warning signs very early on, because obviously, in November and December, on the regular season episodes, you came on and talked to me about the rivalry series, and you just were not impressed. I just found the rivalry series, Canada were just absolutely just not impressive. They were not competitive. I mean, the fact that we outscored them 24-7 across all 4 games, I think it's a bit embarrassing, really. And for me, it just showed the early signs that Canada, you cannot keep just rolling the same thing year after year after year, cycle after cycle, and expect the same results. But he was worse. What? What did I do? What did you do? What did you do? You went for ages when we did the roster big episode on the Olympic Hockey Show. You were. Check the tapes. He was. We did the Olympic roster episode for that. You were just like, oh my god, they're all old. They're all pushing 40. Seriously, 40's the new 30. Okay, well, we'll see. You're still saying that in 2036. Oh! Wow. I have no problem. I'm actually looking forward to my 40s. I think I'll be able to handle my 40s very well. It's the 50s I'm not looking forward to, because by that point, that's when you start to notice if things start to then drop off as they already haven't dropped off. Like that! Yeah, like that! You'd lose your stamina for a start. Thank you, like that, for example. I think the shock of that sass was winning me as well. Yep. That was like, wow. So that, yeah, there you go. So got like your stamina example, you lose that. Although I never had it to begin with. No, I'm looking for. I have no problem with 40s. It's with 50s I'm looking forward to. But yeah, so it's, and the fact that Switzerland, after their semi-final match with Canada, in their post-game speech saying how they felt that Canada was beatable, I think that pretty much said all you need to say about Canada's Monaco-Tina. And, you know, looking back on that, if Canada had stole that gold from us, no way could I have been the gracious gentleman that I have been in 2010, 14, and 22, because I'd be like, no, you didn't play well. In 2010, 2014, and 2022, I have literally said to Canada, you know, good game, you absolutely deserve that. And of course, 2022, oh, that was a bit of a snooze fest. Yeah, I mean, the 2022 goal is not what I look back on for, because that, like you said, it was a bit of a snooze fest. Canada really took full control of that from the get-go. Now, good for them, but at the same time, you can't want the opponent to also show some fight, which the US clearly did not have. And Canada rightly earned that easily. So that was yeah, it was just like, I remember I was like, good game, Canada, absolutely deserved that. See you in 4 years' time. Little did we know what was coming around the corner. Little did we know what was coming around the corner. Yeah, I mean, even though 2014 still plagues me and Lady, I still look back and think, well, good game, good on Canada, because we did not deserve that, because we threw it away. Yeah. I mean, that's probably a reason to freeze up off the bench, Lady. Oh, should I do it again? No! I'm just saying, that's... So, yeah, we don't look back on such with happy memories. Oh! I mean, it was good for the sport. Good for the sport, but not for us. Not for us. Not for us. So, I'm going to ask you first, Lady, then I'll come to then me and Plum will follow. Is this a huge win for Canada heading into the Alps in 4 years' time? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I feel that Canada, post-Monaco-Tina, it's kind of like where we were 4 years ago, post-Beijing. We did not perform as well as we should have done, and we now need to go away, look in the mirror, and work out what change we need to make to come back stronger, at least, and be more competitive at the bare minimum in 4 years' time if we don't win the medal. And we absolutely did that. I mean, 2023, 2025, we win the gold in World Championships. Came agonisingly close in 2024, which was my ladies' first Worlds, because that we got lost in overtime, but still a good silver at the end of the day. Oh yeah. Yeah, but we haven't really seen that competitive edge from Canada since last year's Worlds, Lady. That'd be a fair judgment, George. Yeah, that'd be a fair judgment, because since then it's all gone downhill for Canada. They've just not been the same. But she knows what it takes to win at the international level. She did it in 2002. She was even she coached that team in 2002 to gold. So she absolutely knows what it takes to, you know, be a part of a successful international roster and win at the highest level. And she now is going to be able to build the roster that she thinks could be a competitive roster in 2030. Because there's a bit of a spooky pattern going on with Canada's medals right now. 2018 silver, 2022 gold. Oh no, he's worked it. He's worked it out. Penny's dropped. 2022 gold, 2026 silver. So, oh no. And I've been saying recently how I'd like the USA to try and find a way to make it back-to-back titles, because the USA with their golds, they've kind of been like, you know, when there's been an eclipse, it's a rare thing. So obviously USA was 1998, the first one, and then 20 years after that in 2018, and now 8 years later in 2026. So the USA have yet to win back-to-back golds. So I would really love the USA to do that, but I think now that Daniele is going to be the general manager for Canada, I think that makes that task a little bit more tricky. And I'm going to be expecting Canada to now have that competitive roster. So, could we get the old Canada back? Maybe in the Alps? You could do. You could do. And I think this is going to be... I think a lot of Canadians are going to be thinking, oh my god, we've just won the lottery! We've just won the lottery! We're now millionaires! You know, because that's a huge... I don't think you could have picked a better candidate if you tried. Nope. I honestly don't think you could have picked a better candidate if you tried. I'm thinking, in terms of coaching, does that now increase Corey Chevrolet's odds of getting coached? You did say before we came to record. It wouldn't surprise me, because I think a lot of us do kind of see Corey Chevrolet as kind of like the heir apparent to take over as Canada's head coach. But she was part of that coaching staff with Troy Ryan, so is that really making the necessary change you need to make to get back to where you once were as a powerhouse and a consistent gold medalist? I know. Yeah. I know. I mean, I would have no problem if Corey Chevrolet was to get it, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But it's just incredible. I mean, the fact that Canada's going to have somebody who's been there, done it, got the t-shirt, got the medal, you know, it's just going to be... they are going to really, see their chances just bolster. And I think the next 4 years are going to be really interesting to see, where Canada goes. Can they now start to then get back to that where they once were? Yeah. And the next 4 years are going to be interesting with the next 4 World Championships. We're going to see what Soda's impact to the team is, because she's now in the role effective immediately. So we're going to see how that goes. Obviously, Worlds will be the first opportunity, especially given how Canada holding Marco Tina. It would be a good comparison to do that. So I'm hoping this means that our long-time arch nemesis can once again be that competitive team that we know they are supposed to be. Because Canada did lose their way. They did lose their way in La Cortina, and they do now need to basically do what we did 4 years ago. Go away, look in the mirror, work out what needs to be done to make those necessary changes to get yourselves back into position where you could be a medal contender in, say, 4 years' time. Because we know Canada, you say, is still going to be medal contenders in the Alps. But if things don't start improving Canada, you could be where we were in 2006 in Torino. Oh, that would be a shock. We would never hear the end of that. Wait, it finally happened! It finally happened, because I mean, it was 5 more minutes in that game. Switzerland might have tied it, and God knows what will happen. God knows. God knows. Can I say more about the Montreal effects in Montreal? Yeah, go on. So obviously, me and we can the international side, but obviously you still need to develop your way with that. Go on. I just feel in Montreal, I kind of think, I know you two have said you don't want more back-to-back champs for a while. 20 years. Okay. But I think the Victoire, I think going into next season, I kind of feel they're going to be even more determined to make it back-to-back cups, because Daniele has literally, done one, as we said, done wonders for the team. But who knows what will happen after she's gone. So I think the Victoire will be even more determined to make it back-to-back cups than ever. And there's nothing to say they can't do it next year. It's just, me and George, we personally feel we'd rather the Victoire in 2027 hand it over to the 1 year, and we have more first-time champions. And then when the league has like a good 20-25 years, then you can start having back-to-back champions. Yeah, basically, wait until I'm 60. Wait until I'm 60, then you can start having back-to-back champions again, more frequently. I mean, it can't be helped. It can't be helped. I bet nobody was pleased that we made back-to-back titles last year. But, I know we were, but other people probably weren't outside the frost. Anyway, but it can't be helped. If something does put it back-to-back, what do you do? But me and at least the next 20 years, we'd like to see more first-timers, and then you can start having more repeat champions when we've got that. But who knows? Maybe Montreal, this might give them the incentive they need to really push for back-to-back titles. Who knows what the organization will look like following 2026, 27. So that could be a good point. That could be a good point. They're not doing a really good cup celebration right now, are they? I mean, Marie Flippers literally just had her surgery. And we don't know how long she's going to be out for. And now they're losing their general manager in a year's time. Not the best way to celebrate your first World Cup, is it? Well, we can't know how they feel. Because obviously when we had our first cup, Natalie Darwich just got fired. Oh, yes! Oh, yes! 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 4 days before we were going to host the draft. So is that basically unwritten law? Your first World Cup, you have to have a furore or a scandal. Feels like that, doesn't it? Feels like that. Feels like it, but yeah. But they are really gonna miss her. I just feel, I think the Big 12 are gonna have that more extra determination to want to make it back-to-back cups. Also, they're probably thinking, well, if we did it. Although, do not start that older song. Now, but you just know that's what they're thinking. They're probably thinking, wait a minute, Minnesota can do it. So could we. Yeah, but that's different. We're the state of hockey. We literally put our players out on the ice at birth. So that's different. But I can see your point. Yeah, I can see your point. And yeah, she absolutely is going to be missed. In Montreal. I mean, it's a huge blow to the league as a whole, you know, because I mean, any team would be so lucky to have someone like Daniele who's got 30 years experience under the belt. They would have to, any team would have to have her as general manager, and I think it's going to be really tough to try and replace her. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens over the course of the next couple of months, and like I said, when we get that information about her successor, we of course will bring that to you guys. But yeah, an end of an era. An end of an era is upon us in Montreal. It's a huge blow. But for hockey as a whole, it's a huge win, because Canada, you've got a really good candidate coming your way in the GM role. And I just feel like, I mean, Milan Courtier still feels fresh, by the way, and now I'm already shaking my boots for the Alpes in 2030. Because, you know, it just kind of feels like now Canada might now fancy their chances. You know, I mean, we're back to where we were in 2018 again, where we think, okay, this is the US's chance to now do what Canada's done. And now kind of like, hold my soda pop. And I'll just build my whole moon. We booed that in Denver. We did, because I was very surprised, because they played Golden at hockey at various times, but never had it done Solar Pop, and then they played it while we were in Denver, and we just like, boo. And then you yelled out, we love you, hand tricks! You can't play that song. It's the balloon song. You can't play that at a hockey game. Not on. Not on. You can't play that at a hockey game. You can't play the balloon song. You know, plus it's a tricky song to sing. Because it's got a lot of the K-pop in it. It's got a lot more K-pop in that than Golden has. Because Golden's pretty much got like just like 1 or 2 lines, whereas the third part is like heavily in the chorus. Yeah, so I just feel like Canada now might, if they can play their cards right, they could have a serious chance of the Alps. I agree. But, just to put the data on it, or the carrot on, but yeah, Canada's not very well known for learning from their mistakes. They're very stubborn, Canada. Why are you looking at me when you say that? Why are you looking at me when you say that? Nothing. Canada have been very stubborn in their ways. I mean, the fact they've just been keep rolling at the same thing cycle after cycle, and yet they're still expecting the exact same results, it's not going to work for much longer. But it did work, but not continue. Now, I mean, you'd have thought, right, you would have thought the rugby series, you get outscored 24-7. Which game was it that got outscored by 10 goals? Game 3. So the first game, Edmonton. Wow. First game, Edmonton, they gave up 10 goals. Okay. So you would have thought, after getting one truly, as you would say, my partner, one truly spanked in the rugby series, you'd have thought, okay, what we're doing is not working, let's switch it up. Okay? No! They just brought up the same thing in Argentina. And the fact they didn't have many young guns either. No, I think Katie Osborne, who didn't get a game by the way, I think she was the youngest on that roster, pretty much just 23. So it's a bit like, well, I mean, and that's kind of where we had that success. We had that combination of veterans in the PWHL, but also these young college prospects who could be about to take that big splash into the PWHL. Yeah. Whereas Canada just went for full-on veterans. They didn't pick anybody outside the PWHL for their roster. Now, on the one hand, that should be a good thing, but at the same time, we just saw all the negatives written all over that. We did feel a bit hypocritical in that episode. I know, because it's like, what? I know, I would not be surprised if any of our viewers go like, well, what do you want? I mean, it took us 25 years to get a Women's Pro League, and now they're going to be using all the players in Canada on it. Now you're having a hissy fit. Yeah, I think, oh, we just can't win. Well, hopefully down the will look at that and think, no, that was the wrong thing to do, Gina. Out with that. Out with that. Let's bring some new, because surely there should have been some top young prospects on Canada they could have put up. Surely. Must have been. They thought, no, we're going to go with. But then again, there were quite a few candidates in the PHL who got royally snubbed, which you pointed out when we had our game against Seattle. Well, because our first game, our Canada got their roster out was against Seattle, and I just thought Darcy Dankney was absolutely royally snubbed. And she proved it. In that game, yep. Yeah. But I think I've got more confidence now, so I'll be able to put a good roster together and really give Canada a good fighting chance in the Alps, because we just know they're gonna literally come back for that medal. They are literally gonna want to get that medal back from us. Yeah. So I just feel like maybe now Canada's got a chance. That the odds of them have now gone up a bit with Daniele coming in and and shaking it up and just proving her worth. So I just feel, on the one hand, I bet you will agree with this too, lady. On the one hand, I'm very happy for you guys, but at the same time, I am scared of what they could do in 2030. I think that's the best way to describe it, George. I think that's probably the best way to describe it, because she knows what it takes to win. She knows how to build rosters that can win championships. I mean, we all saw it this year in the finals. Montreal literally, played the system brilliantly. I know, and I can't stop praising that because it's basically my move. Right, the Big Twa basically used my own move against me, because the move if I was in RG's position, so I was thinking, who would I want Minnesota to face? What I would do is I'd look at those three and think, right, which of those do I think caused me the most problems in the World Cup finals? And think, right, I'm going to make those two teams go head to head. And it was a big risk for Montreal picking us as the two-time defending champion, but they knew what they were doing. They took the risk. They gave Boston a more tricky opponent in Ottawa, and it paid off. Because Montreal, they were pretty much like a well-oiled machine in the playoffs. And what we saw this year was something that they have been lacking to do in both 2024 and in 2025. When, of course, this time last year they were in the exact same position. They picked their poison, and it didn't work out for them. But Montreal basically used my own move against me. They picked us. They knew what they were doing. They gave Boston a tricky opponent, and that made it more easy for them to then, make it go all the way in the finals. Although, in those finals, Ottawa made one or two costly mistakes that made it a bit more easy for the Victoire to take that cup in 4. Just so, yeah. But Daniele knows what it takes to build rosters that can win championships. So I wouldn't be too surprised if Canada comes back all guns blazing in a much stronger, better position than they were 4 years ago, like how the USA were 4 years in. Because I mean, a lot can change in an Olympic cycle. A lot can change between one Olympic cycle to another. I mean, just look at the USA. Didn't perform as well as they could have done in Beijing in 2022, and then 4 years later, in 2026, absolutely just destroys the competition of the park. So, with Daniele now on Canada's staff, I could easily see Canada just maybe play us at our own game. And if so, that's a good game. But yeah. But honestly, huge congratulations to Daniele. But she is going to be missed in the PHL, especially with the Victoire. So, are we good? Yeah, good. There you go. Yeah, so congratulations to Daniele. She is still going to be, I'll just remind you guys if you're watching Montreal, she is still going to be with the PHL this upcoming season. She's going to be staying with the Montreal Victoire for the 2026-27 season, but after this next season, she will then transition full-time to Hockey Canada. Okay? So that's going to be all for today. Thanks for joining us next time. Take care.